the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so members, there's is it Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule? There are some counties that we must do a thorough job because they say 20% sometimes contributes the bulk of the problem. Nairobi, Kiambu, Nakuru, Kisumu, Mombasa, Uasin Gishu, Kakamega. These are the big counties, the ones with big budgets, and yeah, probably the ones up north. And so if we find ourselves in a situation where the auditor is not well prepared to proceed, then we must ask ourselves whether proceeding would be doing justice to the people. So can I get your views before we give the way forward? Senator Sifuna.
Yeah, Chair, I think from the inception of this committee, we have always said that the Auditor General is our eyes. As many of you know, some of us are famously not accountants, and we rely on the expertise of the Office of the Auditor General to be able to see beyond the flashy things that we see. Those of you who have seen today's headline in the Nation, after somebody gallivanting around some fancy stadium, the Auditor General has told us there's 11 billion that has been lost in that stadium. So we need the Auditor General to guide these proceedings, so that when they tell us they're not able to proceed, Chair, we really don't have much choice. But because of what you've said in terms of the importance of doing a thorough job, and Governor, here in this committee, we are very thorough, I think the best way to proceed is to give the auditor an opportunity to test the responses that have been put forward by the governor, and then we reconvene at the earliest. But Governor, you must understand that we are operating in a very constricted time space, because the House expects a report from this committee on the 31st. So my view would be, Chair, that we can reconvene and do this next week as early as possible. I think the Auditor General can indicate what is the shortest time that they can be able to go through these responses and prepare for a meeting as soon as possible. But what I want to comment is I am part of the leadership of the House, Governor, and it is something that is commendable that you are staying true to your constitutional oath to be able to account for the monies that Kiambu gets. We have had a back and forth with some of your colleagues who have taken the position that they are not going to appear before this committee. We are not unreasonable people. I don't know why people portray us as some devils or demons. Governor, we are not unreasonable people. If a reasonable explanation is provided the way that you have provided, I don't think that anyone on this committee will say, oh, no, we must continue. There is a colleague of yours who came here from Nyandarua, and he told us that there was a meeting that he wanted to go to so that the committee considers releasing him early, and we acceded to that request. So for you to show up here is to demonstrate to the people of Kiambu that you are prepared to account and not running away and hiding like some of your colleagues in the Council of Governors. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide. There's no reason for you not to appear before this committee. So for me, Chair, I want to say it is important that governors appear before this committee. I don't know which committee of the Council of Governors you sit on, Governor, because it is none of my business. I'm not a member of the Council of Governors. So when we hear some of your colleagues telling the Senate that they need to reconstitute this committee, tell them to keep off. They have no business constituting committees of the Senate. You have been in the Senate. You are now a governor. Tell the Council of Governors, if there's a governor who wants to be in the Senate and wants to be the chair of PAC in the next session, let them run for Senate. But for as long as they are not members of the Senate, they cannot tell the Senate who sits on this committee. And they must appear. And we have made a decision as the leadership of the House that if you oust your constitutional duty, if you do anything outside the Constitution, there's no business for us to engage. And I think the House resolved that governors must appear. You are an exception. All of last week, we were receiving letters, governors were not appearing before this committee. And therefore, Chair, if you remember the resolution of the House, the governors are in material breach of the preconditions for the meeting that they requested next week. I will be advising the House in my capacity as a leader of the House that we will not sit down with constitutional delinquents. For as long as you have violated the Constitution, Sifuna has no business with you. We will not sit down with constitutional delinquents. So that meeting for next week is of no use because they have refused to. This week, yes. It was supposed to be this week. They were supposed to meet certain preconditions. The entirety of last week, we did not have a single meeting. All the governors chose to stay away. And it is unacceptable because for as long as this committee exists, we must go through the reports of the Auditor General, and we will do so without any fear or favor. And by the way, we have also made it clear that all the 67 senators can do just the work that Sifuna does. If you think replacing Sifuna with anybody else, Kamau, what is his name? Karungo Atsangwa. No. If the Kiambu senator was sitting here, Thangwa, there's people who imagine he would not ask the questions that Sifuna asks. We were all elected to do the same thing, and we understand the job that needs to be done. So I think for me, Chair, it's commendable that the governor of Kiambu has chosen first to appear. He has given an explanation. In my view, it's a reasonable explanation. We can schedule another meeting in a week's time, and we will do the job that is required to be done. But this running and hiding and chest thumping that we see out there, Governor, some of us, we are made of sterner stuff. There's no one who can threaten us or scare us. Tell those colleagues of yours, the Council of Governors, you can't intimidate Sifuna or indeed any senator in this republic. They must show up here. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Who on dear Sifuna? Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Chair. I thought we moved from Mimi ni Sifuna to Sisi ni Sifuna. So I don't know. I don't know. I think that's where we are. So thank you, Chair. First of all, to also register my appreciation to Senator Governor MATIANG'I and his delegation for finding it fit to appear before the Senate, as they should, because really this is the Constitution, it's a law. I'll have very few things to say. One, this is a team of reasonable leaders. We are reasonable people. And when we weigh situations and realize that there is a request being made which is valid, we will grant it because we are reasonable people. So I think, Chair, it's okay. We can grant that the OAG be given time to go through the documents, and then at the earliest time possible next week, then the county government of Kiambu executive will appear before the committee and will process the business before us. Secondly, Chair, because I'm also a leader in the Senate, I think it should go out clearly that when we received a formal request by the Council of Governors, we actually agreed that we will meet them and listen to what grievances they have. If you ask me, we would have even have chosen not to accept to meet them because the Senate Public Accounts Committee does not audit the accounts of the Council of Governors. They don't appear before us as an entity. The people that appear before us are individual governors. So we would have said, no, you are strangers to us, we don't know who you are. But we said, it's fine, we will meet, we'll have a conversation. But we set a condition. One of the conditions was then the governors must continue to discharge their constitutional responsibility to appear and account to their people, not to us, account to their people on the monies that we send to them. As you've heard from Senator Sifuna, and that's a position, the whole of last week, not a single governor appeared. The Chair, it should go out clearly that on the Thursday, this coming Thursday on 26th, the leadership of the Senate is not available for a meeting with the leadership of the Council of Governors on this matter. If they want to meet, we're still open, we can meet them. But let governors continue to discharge their constitutional responsibility to account to their people. Lastly, Chair, or second last, you know, in that council, and this must also go on record, In that council, we have colleagues, former senators. We have a former speaker. This fight, Chair and members, of anchoring devolution is a fight that the Senate is at the center of. The Senate fights to anchor devolution to make sure that devolution succeeds. When leaders who have never sat in the Senate treat the Senate in the manner that some governors did, my expectation would have been that those senators who sit in the Council of Governors as governors today would have spoken some sense to their colleagues and tell them that what you're doing is completely out of order. There is no way that governors can wake up and say they are not going to appear before a committee of the Senate. Just no way. Lastly, Chair, Governor, you are a former colleague, so you are one of us. When things happen to you, it affects us because you are our colleague. We also, what happened in the destruction of some property in Nairobi where you have an interest. And personally, as a former colleague of yours, I must say it's such a big shame that a government that is promising development and even dropping funny names would undertake such a thing at night. It's why would a government go to destroy private property at night? I mean, if there is a problem with whatever it is that's happening, take a court order, valid. If you have to destroy, you destroy in broad daylight. The people see what you're doing. The Bible says the thief comes by night to kill, to destroy. And I think that's exactly what happened in the premises. The most unfortunate thing, as I conclude, the most unfortunate thing is that, Governor, you have colleagues in the executive who should have known better. Even if it was a must that they had to destroy that property, I would have expected a duty of care on the part of your brothers to even tell you, you know what, this decision has been made, it has to be done, get your property out. We are going to flatten this area. But for your colleagues who sit there, the CS Interior, Governor Nairobi, the Deputy President, knowing very well that your property is going to be destroyed and no word to salvage at least something. Well, one day, the truth shall come out and justice shall be served. I thank you.
I allowed him to go on because you call him the bishop, and that's why he's been preaching. But otherwise, let's stick to the substantive matter before us.
Chair, let me talk before the Vice Chair.
Senator Gatai, then Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, let me start by saying that I am actually very impressed by the humility of Dr. MATIANG'I. Chair, we have received this report that we are not ready to continue. Of course, we have always treated this ONU as the prosecutors in the whole process. They are the ones who are supposed to guide us on what we're supposed to do here and there. So we have no option. We have to abide by the observation. And Chair, I would look for a time. I'm very happy to look at this document, which is very impressive, even from the looks. It's a very nice document. We are prepared. You can see some very nice victorious here of quite a number of projects. I hope that when that time comes, or maybe on Monday, when we thought maybe we could meet the governor, we shall have an opportunity to go deep into this project and see what Kiambu has been able to do for its people. But to Chair, I am happy that, there is this talk that the governors are not supposed to appear before this committee. I don't know for what reasons. You know, Chair, we have a very, very fundamental responsibility. We are not the creators of the Constitution. The Constitution is owned by the people of Kenya. We are here by virtue of being here, by right, by the Constitution. I don't think whether it's anybody anyway in this country who can decide not to say that he is not supposed to appear before this committee. And by coming here, Honorable Dr. MATIANG'I is a very clear demonstration that you are ready to account for the funds that are to Kiambu people by this house. So we are very happy as a committee, and we promise that another time when you appear, we shall be ready to work with you to make sure that whatever money you get for Kiambu County is being accounted for. Thank you, Chair, and we are very much impressed.
Chair, can I go before the Vice Chair?
Thank you. Maybe the Chair, Education, can go on record.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Senator Betty Montet, and I'm a friend to this committee.
Karibu, Senator.
Yeah, maybe
Senator
as a quick observation, I want to appreciate the role that OAG plays, and as we have normally put it, they are the prosecutors in this matter. And I'm happy they have said they will sample a few projects so that we close. And Governor, you are aware we don't do audit, we just consider. You are once a member of this house, you are a senior member of Public Accounts Committee, and some of us sat with you in the same committee. So I want to appreciate OAG for the good job that they are doing, and that is why they're independent. Chair, you know, Kenyans should also be careful in what they consume. I saw a sensational headline today about Alanda Stadium that is around 11 billion. I'm informed that that report has been tabled before the National Assembly Committee. I think all stakeholders will consider the way we do. And we should be careful because there could be an intention to try and disparage Talanta Stadium before being named after the leader, former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. So we tell them washindwe katika jina la Yesu. Secondly, Governor, I want to appreciate and celebrate you for doing your constitutional obligation. You know, Governor, when some of us see a lot of political noise in Kiambu, led by a number of our colleagues, I had to leave Nandi yesterday very late to come and see if you will appear to account for the resources of Kiambu. Because the doomsayers of politics of Kiambu have made us believe that Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi is doing absolutely nothing on the ground, even to account. So the fact that you came with your team ready with the 3 reports to account for each and every shilling of the great people of Kiambu, Governor, you have done the great people of Kiambu proud, and they should be proud of you because you are willing to account for each and every shilling that this Senate appropriates. And Governor, we are happy also to note that, you know, I saw the Finance and Budget Committee made the governors who want 534 billion to be allocated. But the question we normally ask, why is it that governors are more willing, more excited to come and lobby us for the increment in equitable share, but they don't want, a number of you don't want to come and account for? We should be fair to Kenyans. When being appropriated, you should be ready to take it, but when it comes to account the way you have done, you have to account for each and every money that we give you. And Governor, I'm happy I can see, well done. We wanted to test the eating in the pudding, Chair. And I'm keen, I am reliably informed that a number of more than close to 1,000 ECD centers have been done and others are continuing. We would want to visit, and I'm happy the Chair of Education is here. We are told that the feeding program, I remember when you appeared, is going on very well in Kiambu. I am impressed with your passion towards the health sector, Chair. I have ever seen this Kikuyu Level 4 Sub-County Hospital. I think there is one in Kahawa Sukari when I was going somewhere. And these are reminders that Devolution is a success. Governor, ignore the noise, the political noise. Focus on serving the great people of Kiambu. Ignore the people who want to bring you down by even attacking your persona and your interest. Ignore them. Just focus on the people of Kiambu, what the people of Kiambu elected you. And we are proud, even I've seen your own source revenue. The CRE has projected, but I've seen there is a steady growth in own source revenue. So, Governor, we are very proud of what you are doing. And by the way, let me say this, Chair, with a lot of respect in conclusion. It is not our business to do any political witch hunt against any governor. It's not our business to embarrass any governor. Because what we share with Kenyans is what in their reports. So when a governor from Bungoma comes and brings a story of buying a Christmas tree of 3.6 million, it is not us. It's not the Public Accounts Committee, it's their own making. When a governor from Mandera buys 55.6 seedlings, yet it is a dry area, and he cannot account for it, it is not us. We are not sanctimonious to come and sanctify any governor. Our business is to consider the responses that come with the with the responses from the. Finally, Chair, I'm happy the leadership have decided that we shall not do any kangaroo meeting with Council of Governors. First, Council of Governors is not a legal entity. It is not anchored in any law. It is a boys' club of professional gossip that we should not even be discussing in this committee, because the issue of accountability, Governor, and I'm happy you have noted that response, is individual. The COG does not exist anywhere in the law. It is just a team of, we normally see merry-go-round, chama ya wamama, ile chama ya kupeana pesa over the weekend. That is the role of Council of, and I'm happy, Chair, that the leadership, the Bishop is here, and a number of us have confirmed, because we will be subverting the Constitution. The moment we come and say, instead of accounting, let us do a kangaroo meeting before going for accounting and accountability, we would have failed a Chair. Governor, we wish you well as you travel. I hope by Monday we'll be ready. And on a lighter note, you know, when I hear Wambua trying to, of course, to empathize with what happened, I remember the person is talking or about him. They go to the same church. So I pray as they go to pray in AIC Milimani, he can pray over him and also console him and also encourage him to stop doing such, Governor. And I'm happy the President yesterday said we should end wrangles in Kiambu. At least the President has spoken. I hope the leadership of Kiambu, led by you, will come together. Let the people of Kiambu, Chair, and let me not forget this. You remember from 2013, Kiambu as a county government until the era of Kimani Wamatangi. The first governor, it was a disaster. The second governor was impeached, another gave in. I remember the last time he was in a church saying, pray for me, napitia mengi. So now this is the only time that Kiambu County government, to be fair to Kiambu, under the leadership of Dr. Kimani Wamatangi, Senator and Governor of Kiambu, has been stable. And we are very proud of that. We want our county governments to be stable. We want devolution to work and be stable. Chair, with those very many remarks, I thank you and I yield back and we wish you well, Governor, as you serve the great people of Kiambu, the bedroom of Nairobi.
Thank you, Senator Cherargei. Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, because Senator Cherargei has been extremely, has said a lot. I'll just say very few things. That Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi has been in this committee in the last parliament. We were with him in this committee, and most of the things that I do today, I learned from him. I would have been very, very surprised if you didn't turn up for this meeting, because you used to say and tell governors that you come here to account for the resources that are allocated to you, and that devolution is the best thing that we gave to ourselves as Kenyans. And there is nothing that would serve as a clawback that would be allowed, including attending to these accountability meetings. Now, if you didn't come, I would have been disappointed, but also surprised. So I think I would like to thank you for having come, and that here we don't find faults. We rely on the auditors to do their job. If there's any fault, they indicate it in these audit reports, and then you come, we give you a second bite at the cherry to tell us if there was no explanation that was done during the time of audit, are you able to explain it now? So for us, if the auditor is not ready, then we might not be able to proceed. We'll give them opportunity to go and confirm and test the evidence that you've given. Then there would come another time to come and engage. I have flipped through the report. When we come here, we're not coming to find fault only, but we also want to engage to see if there are any gaps that need to be filled in terms of legislation, and also to give feedback to our community